What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? You know what time it is. Episode 62 up in the mix. Let's get it. We got a pleasure speaking to M's in the mix. Before we get started, you know what time it is. If you got yourself an iPhone and or an Android, do yourself a favor. Head to the App Store and or the Play Store and download the FTX app and stay up to date with the latest cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Without further ado, I'm your host, Gaddis TV. What's going on, y'all? And let's get to it.
Yo, what's good?
Yo, what's going on, big dog? So we are live and direct. So first off, I want to say thank you very much for coming on and just taking some time out of your evening and just really letting us know a little bit about yourself. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. And it's no worries at all. You reached out. I said, yeah, that's something I'd want to do. So I'm here. So it's all good.
Yeah. So a lot of people will honestly know who you are. Some people in the space. We got a lot of people coming into Solana and just, I guess, more music in general. Let's know a little bit about, I guess, who you are. Kind of when did you get started into music? Has it always been something you've, I guess, had in your life, or when did that whole, thing start?
Yeah, music. Oh man. Well, my name's Ems. A lot of people online call me EMS because I decided to put my name in all caps. So people think it's emergency services, but nah, it's pronounced Ems just for future reference. And I'm a rapper from West London. I first got into music, like when I was young, bro, to be honest. Like my mum always used to just put me in church. I was like one of those kids that used to go to church like 4 or 5 times a week. So yeah. and then I learned to play piano when I was about 9, and then saxophone. And then I heard hip hop music, and then all the instruments got thrown away, basically. And then that was it, bro. It was just, yeah, it was just hip hop from then on. That's it.
Nice. So, I guess with the music's part, then how, like, it's not just how, I guess, age or whatnot on that, but how long you been doing on that one?
So like hip hop, I've been doing like rapping and songwriting. I've been doing for about 15 years.
Okay, strong. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, when you just love something, you really just love it. And I just, like, I wouldn't care if I never made a penny. Like I would do music, I just love it that much. And then to be honest, that's why I'm so happy to be in, I guess, the new space, especially with regards to Solana and everything that they got going on, because it's the first time that I felt like a buzz again for something new. And yeah, it feels pretty good, to be fair.
Nice. How I guess, how did you find Solana overall? I've seen you in a couple of the Twitter spaces. Was it just hopping in that way, or I guess were you in crypto kind of before Solana? How did you hear about crypto? When did you get involved in crypto?
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. So I found out about Bitcoin. I'd say maybe 10 years ago, maybe even longer.
Okay.
There was an article, right? And then me and my mate, you've probably seen him in the spaces as well, Toshi, we watched a documentary about how cryptocurrency, this thing, is going to take over the world. And we were just intaking this information. And then a few years later, I didn't really think much of it, watched it, didn't really absorb it. A few years later, I had a guy at my workplace, this IT guy, and he took out this metal card. And I was like, what's that? And he goes, oh, dude, it's like my cryptocurrency card. And I was like, what the hell's cryptocurrency? So I'd obviously forgotten the first, Toshi just recently reminded me that I watched this documentary, by the way. That's why I meant. Otherwise, it would have started with the IT guy. But anyway, yeah, then this guy, he takes out this card. He goes, you don't know about crypto? And I was like, no, tell me more about crypto. And he's like, it's decentralized and it's going to change the world, man. And it's like, and it just sounded like conspiracy theories. And when you just nod at someone like, yeah, okay. And then a few years later, then I started noticing that people were really noticing that people that had already invested in Bitcoin and now started making money.
Mm-hmm.
And then my ears pricked up, and then I was like, and even then, I invested a little bit, but nothing crazy. It was more like 50 quid here, 100 quid here, just to be like, when the crypto conversation comes up, I can be, oh yeah. I've got
Come
some
on.
crypto.
I got that BTC. You're good. You
Yeah,
know.
Bitcoin. I had some of that ages ago. I had like 0.00 whatever. But yeah, I have that. I had that ages ago, man. You're late. Not me.
Yeah.
I know everything. Yeah. And then it was only, I would say, literally, I got introduced to Solana the top of this year.
Okay.
And Toshi had been really working in the Solana space, and he said, bro, I won't lie to you, you need to get involved. He goes, someone like you would thrive in this type of environment. And he said, just get involved. And then basically since I would say about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks ago, I've just been, as you've probably seen, man, just jumping in and out of Twitter spaces all day, every day, trying to catch everyone in all the different time zones and just absorb as much information as possible. And yeah, when I first came to Solana, I thought, you know what? This is really cool, but I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it all. But I thought, oh, this would just be another avenue for my music. But what I very quickly realized is, oh man, the possibilities are endless. That's the beauty of the space for me. The possibilities are endless, not just from an artistic point of view, but just general integration into our lives going forward with regards to Web3 and stuff. But yeah.
No, I like it on that. And so Toshi was the one that I guess introduced you into Solana.
Yeah, Toshi, I would
Okay.
say is my onboarder, but don't keep that on record. Scrub that just in case he tries coming back and claiming, claiming some soul from me in the future. It's like, I onboarded you, man. 10%, 10%.
On everything. Like, come on, son.
Yeah.
So with the shoot, so you knew about the cryptocurrencies a long time ago. You started perking up because I was kind of the same way, kind of like you, where I guess maybe in 2017 more than me, dabbled in there, and granted, I didn't have, I guess, too much capital, so I was like, you know, let me put it in there, so in case it goes up, and I did believe in it, just because I remember back in the day when I was like a kid, you know what I mean, when those credit cards first came out, I remember my parents saying, and people were like, oh, that's not gonna be a thing, you're crazy, cash is king, and now it's always like boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, you know what? It kind of makes sense, you know what I mean? So not everything, of course, because some shit's gonna go crash down to, you know what I mean, zero, but that's what got me interested in doing it. And my buddy, kind of the same thing, told me about Solana a long time ago, that back maybe $2, things like that. And of course, you know,
crazy.
I didn't invest in nothing like that. I was like, man, shit. But with the possibilities you were kind of talking about just a second ago, and unless it's a project you're thinking of and you don't want to, like, I guess, let stuff, I guess, known right now, what type of things do you, I guess, like, makes your mind go crazy in the sense of like, yo, this could be possible. Like, what do you see in that type of vision?
So basically, when I first started listening, it was more, okay, my thing was, I kept on saying to every space I jumped into, hi, my name's Ems, I'm new to this space. I want to find out how I can combine music and NFTs. Anyone got any answers? Like, really, like, happy pappy, right? And then I ended up meeting, you know, creators of really popular collections, some people that actually helped build Solana as well. And this is the thing about jumping in spaces. I will just say this as a bit of advice. When you look at spaces, when it pops up at the top of the Twitter feed, right, you'll see some groups that'll have like 200, 300 plus. And then you'll see some groups that'll just have like 5 people. I jump in everything, and you'll be surprised who's in those small rooms. Like some real big dogs in the small rooms. Anyway, so I'll be jumping across the spaces and whatnot. And yeah, it was initially, how do I combine music with NFTs? And there was a guy that Toshin introduced me to as well, Daramola. He's just released a collection, right? The Supply Chain, and his crazy collection, robots. He's got a whole storyline in, you know, integrated to really get everyone engaged to look forward to the next thing. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. You can really go deep with the story element for your art. But then I realized, right, there's a whole bunch of people that, like me, maybe 2.5 weeks ago, they don't know anything about this space and the possibilities. I could possibly be an onboarder, but I don't want to be the typical, oh my God, I just discovered something really cool, I just threw down the bag, I'm involved in Solana. No. I didn't want to be one of those guys. I want to make it interactive. I want to make it fun. So I am going to be dropping a music project. Definitely,
Okay.
I have to. I feel like it's almost like that's me just saying I want to integrate some type of music with NFTs. Definitely, but I've got an idea now involving the stars, as you can see behind me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Involving the stars, and I'm calling it a star map instead of a road map. And I've basically figured out a way to tell my life story in a way that's interactive, onboarding people from Web 2, introducing them to Web 3, and then into beyond as well, into the metaverse. That's all I can say for now.
Okay.
Because the idea is still up here, but it's a beautiful, beautiful plan. So it starts with the music, and then I'm going to get even more personal. And I believe that through telling my story, which is the most personal story I can tell,
Mm-hmm.
but making it in a way where you can still build a community, still work with the amazing artists, still work with amazing developers that exist out there, and people just genuinely interested in what's going on in this space, and hopefully get the respect of some of the people that have already built such an amazing, amazing, amazing space. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. The possibilities, just like I was looking at some of these metaverse projects and some of the detail that they go into. It's exciting as it is scary.
Yeah.
Some of the elements look so real, and I imagine a world where that becomes even more of a major thing, where it's just commonplace that you jump into the metaverse and you just get on with your your day to day in the metaverse. Why not? So I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, that was a really sketchy answer, but yeah, there's a plan in place. There's a plan in place now. I'm glad to say I've got a more a better idea of what I'm gonna do.
No, I was putting you on the spot on that one.
It's all good. It's all good.
Question then with because you've seen the stars. I know on your Twitter says astronaut. I guess have you always been interested in? Pretty damn sure it's called astrology. But with the stars and everything like that, when when was that always I guess incorporated with you?
I love the stars, man. Ever since I looked up, really. And I love the sort of mysticism. There's a thing, right? There's two moments where I get a real feeling of just humility. One is when I'm in the middle of the sea, right? Just swim out, right, like past, like, when it goes deep, 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 and just tread water, and you're just looking out, and you're like, wow, I am a dot. I am insignificant, and I feel really humbled. And the other is when, obviously, I live in London, and you don't see that many stars because London's just lit up like a flipping Christmas tree all year round, right? So, but when I went camping when I was younger, I went to a place called Chalfont Heights, and you look up at night, and then you just see all the stars and all their glory, and then once again you feel this small, but it's a beautiful feeling. It's like the kind of like I am not alone feeling. We are not alone, but oh my gosh. We're like grains of sand. We're like grains of sand on the beach, man. It's I don't know. It's just like an overwhelming feeling that comes, and it's beautiful. And then I got more into, like, I'm a Trekkie. I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars. I love anything to do with sci-fi, space, time travel.
Everything.
You talk about time travel movies, that's me. If you talk about space, that's me. If you talk about the possibility of life on other planets, that's me. Like, I love it. I love it all. Yeah. So yeah, it's and definitely the project that I'm working on is something to do with that. But as I said, I want it to be fun. I love having fun. So I want the project that I work on, I want it to be fun the whole way through, whilst also being, quite. It'll be based on personal truths, but in a way where it's easily digestible by the masses. That's the aim.
100%. Did you ever? And I'm pretty sure. I think the astronauts on this because I kind of like. I'm not. I guess too much. I guess into the astrology part, but like I'm fascinated with, like, honestly, space and just seeing, like you said, like being, I guess, not overwhelmed, but knowing that like you said, you're just like in a speck, like in the whole just world on that one. Because like I know when the astronauts again they go up, they say I forgot the exact thing it's called, but literally when they're looking down on the world, it's like what you were just explaining. It's like, man, it's an overwhelming just like humbleness that comes over him because it's like you be on the word like, oh, I'm great, I'm this, I'm that, and then even in the plane you're like, oh shit, there's a lot of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With
do you know what it is with astronauts, right? It's like, for me, You know how Navy SEALs, right? They've got a reputation worldwide for being like the baddest ass mofos, like doing this thing. Yeah, it's like if you've
Yeah.
been through Navy SEAL training, you just get the respect from even making it through the training camp to become a Navy SEAL, let alone all the stuff that you probably get on up to when you're on your missions, right? To me, that's how I feel about astronauts. You know, you get this vibe. I know you got Richard Branson, you got Elon Musk racing to the stars, so they just got big wallets, right? But I mean, before
You know,
it was like, you know, the best of the best that we're sending up there, because you're sending people literally into the vacuum. You don't want to send idiots. You want to send people that know what they're doing, right? So you're sending literally the best of the best, the greatest scientists in the world. You know, they go through ridiculous training to go up there. And then not only do we send the best of the best, they're still going into the unknown. Anything could happen. Many, many things could go wrong. And once again, I think the only thing that would beat that feeling that I get when I'm in the sea or when I'm looking up at the stars is that feeling of probably going on like a spacewalk or just being in a spaceship, just looking down and knowing that there's only a few inches of glass between me and absolute death, basically.
Seriously,
and nothing is.
Boom.
But there's a beauty in that. There's a beauty in that. It's like you know, you think we get full of ourselves a lot of the time, and I got a big ego. Like seriously, anyone that knows me will tell you I'm very, very gassed. But I have moments where I'm brought back down, and yeah, I think that would just be an amazing experience. So yeah, that's how I feel about astronauts, and you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I admire them. So astronauts are definitely going to be a part of this story.
Nice. With I'll go a little bit off the story on that one. I won't try to press you too much more on that. Did you ever see yourself doing the music stuff integrated in cryptocurrency? Maybe not exactly Solana, but did you ever? I guess because I know you said I guess with Darren Merlin, his project that kind of had some of the influence on it. Did you see yourself doing something like that? Did you know it was, I guess, like possible to have that creativity like that on the blockchain, or?
No. For me, the blockchain just represented, or before, should I say, before I got introduced to the Solana community, crypto represented just another type of currency. Literally numbers, you know, for investors. Literally, I'm going to take this, invest, hope that it goes up, pull out some profit. Happy days. But that's what I mean. Now that I'm talking with people that are building within Web3, it's some of the things that I'm hearing that people are invested in are crazy. You know, not just from the artistic side, but people like real life solutions to real life issues, real life problems, and the community thing. It's like, you know, community is one of those things that gets thrown around a lot in this space, but the community and each member has a role to play. And if you're new, it's almost like I realized first when I stepped in, it was like, okay, what can I take from this? Now I've come in a place of, okay, what can I give first so that I can live and work within this space? You know, if I can survive in this space, I'll be a happy man. And that's it. That's really it.
You kind of been mentioning it, but I guess what would you, like what type of advice would you give, I guess new artists and new people coming in? I would say to Solana, you know what I mean? If the artist wise, is it just hopping into Twitter spaces, like you said, don't look at just the numbers on there and be like, oh, they got 300, it's gonna be a good one. These people have 3 people. You know what I mean? What is your, I guess, advice for someone coming in that knows about Twitter space but might be shy, might be like, I don't know the proper way to do it. I don't want to shill. You know what I mean? Like, what's your advice for them?
Listen before you speak. And as a person that could talk for England, I say in this space, it's been very, very beneficial. Like I've been putting in like 12 to 18 hours a day. I don't advise anyone do that because I go extreme. When I'm on something, I go extreme. But listen before you speak. And if you pop up enough in these Twitter spaces, I think Twitter spaces is an amazing space, by the way. If you pop up enough, people will see you. They'll recognize your name. They'll recognize your PFP. Even if you change your PFP, they'll still recognize your name. And they'll be like, oh, you've been here 4 or 5 times. Come have a conversation. And then even when they call you up, just be open, be honest. If you don't know something, don't be afraid to look stupid. I spent 2 weeks looking stupid, like asking I call them noob questions. I'll be like, unmute, sorry guys, noob question, and then I'll ask something. Like I didn't know what whitelisting was. I didn't know what people meant by utility. I didn't know what gas charges were. If we're talking about ETH, I was just like my friend introduced me to Solana, so I'm on Solana. It's like your friend introducing you to, I don't know if you have T-Mobile in the US, but it's like someone saying, "Oh, this phone network's better than that one." It's like, "Oh, okay, all right, cool. I trust my friend, so I'll go with this one." You know. But there's clear benefits to the Solana to the Solana space. And that's it. And then just jump in as many spaces as possible. You will naturally find people to connect with. You'll naturally find that community. That's what I'll give at this stage. And I'm still asking what I consider to be noob questions. And I will continue to ask noob questions because I don't care about looking stupid if it makes me smarter within 5 minutes of getting the answer.
That's the thing, man. Honestly, with that, what you just said, I've said that before with other people that's been on the podcast that are definitely smarter. And I'm like, listen, it might be a basic question, but is this what you mean? Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, because I mean, like you said, if you have questions, if someone like me have questions, I mean, I'm sure someone else in the world, at least something like with the platform, I'd rather be that platform where I'll look like an idiot or be like, oh, hey, it's 2 + 2 is 4, right? It's not 3.5. Like, what the hell are you talking about? I just, my friend said this. Well, don't listen to your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say always ask the questions, and then, like you said, the Twitter Spaces is a big thing as well, which I think. I remember when I first came, because I've been, I guess, in Solana September. ThugBirdz was my first mint ever, and I didn't even know about a burner wallet for like a month and a half. You know what I mean? I had my main bird and stuff in there. I'm just going. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? And people are like, yo. Granted, I wasn't minting a lot of stuff because capital wasn't too much, but I'm like,
yeah.
They're like, bro, are you crazy? I'm like, I didn't know. You know what I mean? Granted, that was on me for not asking, but I was like, man, so I'll always ask away on anything on there. With the music, do you have any music you're working on right now? Doesn't matter if it's on chain or off chain. You got any work you're working on now?
Yeah, so I've got a project that's already been made. I'm looking for artists now to connect with. I've decided, I can tell you the first part of this project leading into the other stuff. So I've decided I'm gonna do one of the music and combine it with either one artist to create 7 to 10, depending on how many tracks I put on the project, 7 to 10 one pieces to go along with the one music as the introduction collection, if you like, into this world. And that's going to be, because I'm a musician coming into this space, I think it just makes sense for me to start with the music and then that as my foundation, build from there, basically.
Nice.
So yeah. So any artists, if you got dope artwork, I'm looking now, I'm searching. So yeah, we can work on
where can they find you on that one? DM on Twitter or
DM on Twitter. That's probably the best place. Just Real Ember, just DM me, and then we'll just go from there. And then just send me a link. I find with the people that are working with Web3, they're very conscious about just trying to sell too hard, to shield too hard. So they're very like, hi, can we talk about what you tweeted about? And I'm like, fuck, I sent like 5 tweets today. What oh, you're an artist. Okay. Now I figured it out. Yeah, okay. Oh, you mean, all right, yes, you can send me your work. Just send me your work. Let me just look at the images. If I connect with it, I'll let you know straight away. And then we can go from there, That's it. Real simple.
Keep it simple. I like it on that one. We've had some I guess artists, not exactly, I guess, musicians quite on yet. Mm-hmm. Or I guess some we have, excuse me, but some has been, I guess, still doing like artwork, painting and all. But with your creative process, because I know you said you were always into music with the piano. You said saxophone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't picked one up in years.
My guy said, yeah. Listen, man, that's the panty japper.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess, do you have like a creative process? Do you, I guess, like, well, I guess I don't know if you're producing the music. Have you ever produced the music that you, I guess, rap on? Or I think even when you're, I guess, rapping, is it writing it down, freestyling, or how is that process?
Yeah, I have produced music that I've rapped on, but nothing that I've really released. The reason being is I do not have the patience for production. That production is its own separate artistry in itself. Yes, it's all contained within music, but I think you have to have a certain patience for frequencies. I appreciate the process. I'm just not that guy. I'm the words and melodies guy, and I'm happy with that. I'm the performance guy, getting up on stage and being comfortable in front of however many. That I'm completely fine with that. The nitty gritty tweaking frequencies to make that 808 growl a little bit more, or this removing the oh man, it's just a headache.
Have that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a headache, but yeah, there's a process. So it starts for me. Generally, it starts with the music first. So a lot of people submit beats, and I do sometimes go through that, but I prefer to work with people that I know understand my sound. This is another tip for producers: if you're sending music to me, don't just send me any random stuff. Have a listen to my music and say, I have this beat. I've listened to your beat. That sounds like this. I think this is along the same vein. So try this out. As opposed to, hey, I'm a drum and bass producer. I know you do trap music, but do you want to? It's just random. It's like, no. Where's the connect? Now I like all different types of music, but the music I make and the music I like could be two separate things. You know, that's fine. The art I create is not necessarily the only art that I intake. But come on, people, we need to get a little bit smarter on these DMs. But yeah, music first, and then I do this thing where like I'll rap, but I'll rap in sounds. So I'll be like, like to get some type of flow. Yep. And then once I figure out what the flow is going to be, then I replace those weird words with actual words. And then, yeah, then that's when the rhyming pattern starts, man. Yeah, that's the process, I guess. And then hit the record.
You definitely hit the record. How many times have you not hit the recorder and be like, fuck, that was fire, dog? Are you pretty good with the recording part?
You know what? The worst is, yeah, I've done that a few times. You think you're recording, you think you've hit the record, but you've just hit play.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be like, you know, sweating.
Woo!
Finally got that tongue twister down. And then you look at it and you'll be like, fuck. It's not even, it wasn't even recording. That's happened a few times. Or the worst, and I know this has happened, musicians will relate, the worst is when you're halfway through a track and you haven't hit save for like ages, and then the thing just crashes, and then it's just like, and then you lost everything. That can be super stressful. No. But that's only happened like probably twice in my whole life. So
okay, that's what's up.
So good.
I did it one time. I forgot. I was jamming before the podcast on like the sound bar and everything. It was like 15 minutes in. I'm like, yeah, because I could hear everything. I'm like, yeah. So ain't no one hear nothing the last 15 minutes. I'm like, shit. But I thought it was always pretty funny. With the I guess the last couple questions on that, because I'm honestly right at the 28 minutes here, and again, like I said, 30 minutes. I don't want to just keep you too long.
That's all good, man. It's all good. I'm here.
I guess with the music wise, I mean, is it, I guess, the preference, like you said, is it I guess just the trapping part, or is it what do you have a overall genre basically, or is it just whatever you're feeling, or?
Yeah, so I started in a music genre called grime, which is the same tempo as drill music today, but kind of like different flows, which was like the UK's first kind of rap genre that was homegrown. Obviously, we had US rap and then UK rap, but then a lot of the early UK rappers used to try and sound American because that's what was popular at the time. And then that's obviously for my generation, that was like a no, like, what are you doing?
Hold on. The grime shit's hard. I do know of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's what I got started in, and then I kind of fell in love with more like the Southern music, because I listened to a lot of like Ludacris, T.I., Jeezy, 2 Chainz, and then like one of my old time favorites, Lil Wayne. And then that just got me very much into the Southern rap. And what I like about the Southern rap with like the trap sounds is they combine a lot of the church melodies. So it reminded me of when I was younger, but then, you know, when that 808 kicks in, it's just like, it just modernizes in it and just brings it. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, trap wave, that's what I make. That's what I'd call it, trap wave.
I heard that. When I don't know, you might have said it with the project, like the regular music project you're working, not the, I guess, the NFT one that you maybe not be working on. Do you have, I guess, a date when that's supposed to be out? Or are you still working on that? Or are you still looking for, like you said, beats and producers?
As soon as I find the artist or
Artists, that's
the
right.
artiste that I want to work with, I reckon I could get it out quite quickly. So shout out to Toast and shout out to the URS. I'm sure they'll help me with that, with regards to putting it out to the people and putting it all together. But yeah, I don't think it will be long. As I said, the music's done. It's
Heard
me
that.
now just trying to find my soul child in art, really, to go with that music, and then then we're good to go from there.
Nice, hell yeah. I guess the last question then with on the profile, I'm assuming are you half Trini and half I don't know UK British or what's the Trini flag on there, or is that like
So
a
the Trini flag's there because that's where I was born,
okay?
but the British flag is there because I was raised in London. So I was born in the Caribbean, and then my mum said, "Oh, it's too hot over here. Let's go to a nice cold country." And no, it wasn't because of that, but yeah. And then I was 6 months old when I came over to London, and then I've just got raised in London. I used to go back all the time, but yeah, that's the reason why I got both those flags up there.
Nice. When's the last time you've been back? I've actually one of my best friends is actually from there. I went there when I was 15 for
Nice.
what basically like a month almost. I remember
What did you think?
um it was cool. It was unfortunately his mom's I guess mom passed on that one. So but
Yeah,
it was cool in the sense of it was awakening, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Compared to
yeah,
in the States it's like just damn, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It
yeah.
was more of a celebration. So that part was awesome.
Cool.
It was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first time on a plane, which this part you'll probably laugh. It was I want to say it was maybe like a 7 hour, maybe not 8 hours. I don't know.
yeah,
It was enough for like two movies and a movie and a half. But remember the last 30
yeah, yeah,
minutes, I had to go to the
yeah.
bathroom, bro. I didn't know there was bathrooms on planes, bro. I'm just like, man, shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No
then
space, like, almost knocking into the.
yeah. And then on
Yeah,
the I guess in Trinidad is where they drive on the opposite side of the road from the states. So I'm in the
yeah,
window seat. I'm looking at these two cars coming. I'm like, oh hell, no, I'm not about to. Oh hell, and keep on going. I'm like, oh
yeah, yeah,
shit. But it was super cool, man. It was pretty funny. Everyone knew me, and it was hey yo white boy. I'm like, yo, what up, bro? What up?
yeah,
But it was a good time, man. It was super cool. Went to Tobago as well.
yeah.
It was
Vega's
fresh,
beautiful.
man. It was
Yeah,
it was nice.
Vega's
First time
proper
I had some
beautiful.
shark and bake. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
it was
There you go.
fire.
Shark and bake. See, if
Um,
you want shark and bake, then yeah, you had the experience, man. Liming on the beach with some shark and bake. That's the way to go.
I forgot the
That's
exact beach. My buddy would probably kill me.
Maracas Beach. You probably maybe that's quite a
Is that
popular
when it's
beach.
kind of
Did you,
like
go-
in
did you
the
go over a mountain? Did you go over a mountain?
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
Maracas
and you
Beach.
come down. I remember.
Yeah, then you
Yeah, I
come
remember.
down, and then there's the
Whew.
little shack, and then you can it's like a conveyor belt. You just go down with your
Yeah,
bake,
bro.
and they put the shark in. You got the salad, the sauces, boom, 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 and then you're just in the heat, and you got the beach. Nothing
Just
beats
fucking
that. That is
fire,
just
dog.
like that's the experience right there. Yeah, but it's been about maybe 5 years since I've been back.
Okay.
5 years, yeah, yeah. But yeah, man,
That's
is
what's up.
yeah,
I had to
Trinidad.
ask him. My buddy's there too. I was like, man, oh hell no, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. I guess just to wrap it up, then, where can people find you? You give your shout outs on everything, Twitter, Instagram, like shout it out. Where can
Yeah.
people find you at?
So any social media I'm on, it's Real Ember. So RealEmber, the same as my Twitter. And if you want to chat, just jump into Twitter Spaces, and that's most likely where you'll find me as I absorb this information, and as I continue to network and build within this community. And that's it. Yeah, just drop me a follow. I'm being quite, typical rappers. They don't want to follow no one back, but I'm quite gracious with my follow backs in the Solana community. Do you know why? Because I feel like people come with what they got to give rather than what they got to take from me in this space. That's why I don't mind following back. I feel like everyone's just cool. Whereas in the Web 2 world or the real world, IRL, like people always want something from you. So I don't
Mhm.
really want to follow you back. They just want the esteem of having a rapper. It's like, get out of it. But here, I feel good. I feel good. It's dope. But yeah, follow me up. I'll follow back. And yeah, let's build together.
Hell yeah. On that one, stick around for a quick second, kind of like how I started it. I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But
Yeah,
thank you for coming on and take some time out of your
no
evening.
worries.
So,
No worries, bro. Thank you for having me once again.
100%, bro. I'll be right back. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, shout out to Real Ember. I almost hit the EMS. To M's, once again, go ahead and follow him on the Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, everywhere. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stay fresh, stay clean, stay positive. And as always, y'all, caw-caw!